So it's Saturday morning. Today I'm gonna run between 5 and 7 miles. Very easy running. And yeah, this whole week I've been taking it really easy. Lower mileage, lower intensity, and yeah, I just decided to have a deload week this week just based off of how I've been feeling the past 2 weeks. And yeah, in this video I'm just gonna talk about what I've been dealing with and feeling and signs on when you should take a break or like have a deload week to let your body recover. So yeah, but yeah, I'm not an expert or anything like that. So yeah, this video is just based off of my experiences and what I'm currently dealing with. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it though. So for the past month and a half, I've been training hard for a 10K. Been getting in some good quality workouts, and over that time period it's built up cumulative fatigue, which is just necessary fatigue build up when you're putting in constant weeks of good training. And it just, at a certain point, the fatigue can get to a point where it's just too much, and if you're not careful, it could lead to overtraining, overuse injuries, and all that stuff. So a good indicator to look for is how your legs feel on your runs. Like me, the biggest sign for me was just my legs on my runs. I've been feeling very heavy and nowhere near as snappy as they did like weeks prior when I first got into the speed work and all that. But yeah, the heavy legs is a great indicator of it may be time for a break. So yeah, just pay attention to that. Another thing to pay attention to is constant soreness. Obviously some soreness is good, especially when you're in the middle of a build. That's normal to have some soreness after hard days. But if the soreness is lingering on for more than 3 days, then it may be time to dial back on the intensity, because I've been dealing with my soreness was mostly just constantly in my hamstrings and somewhat in my core too. Being constantly sore no matter what for days and days. And yeah, that's definitely a sign of your body just needs to recover some more. So if you're experiencing constant soreness, just ease back on the intensity and let your body recover. Another thing to pay attention to is just if you're constantly tired throughout the day and you wake up not feeling replenished, even after a good night's sleep, you're still waking up tired. That's just a sign of you just need to recover some more. So, and yeah, that's something I'm dealing with still. Just waking up tired even after some good sleep. And yeah, it can be hard for sure sometimes to balance life and fitness, especially working a full-time job or you have kids and all that stuff. It can be very hard. But yeah, if you're just constantly tired throughout the day, and even when you wake up, that's just a sign that you may just need to dial back the intensity or take a break. Reason number 4 to pay attention to is any loss of motivation. It can be slight, it can be a big loss. Any type of loss of motivation could be a sign of just you're tired and you need a break. you know, it's easier to see how buildable all three of the other reasons I mentioned earlier could lead to a loss of motivation. You know, I mean, it's hard to be motivated when you're constantly tired and sore and all that stuff, you know. So it's like, if you're experiencing any type of motivation loss, just really sit and think about the possible reasons why that could be happening, and you know, also just consider taking a break, or just consider a lighter week if that's what you're going through. Because yeah, I'm going through the same thing right now, just slight motivation loss. But I think for me mainly it's just because I'm always tired and shit. But yeah, just pay attention to that and figure out the reasons why. All right, the last reason I'll mention is you're struggling to hit your paces on your workouts, and your easy runs just feel harder. It's easy to see how a build up of every other reason can build up to struggling to hit your paces on your workouts, or even just your easy runs. They just feel much harder. If that's what you're going through, then that's a big reason to consider, you know, taking a break or just deloading the following week or so. So yeah, if that's what you're dealing with, any type of pace drops in your workouts, just consider dialing it back like I mentioned, and taking a break if needed. Yeah, run complete. But yeah, I feel like the biggest takeaway from this video is just to listen to your body. I always feel like that's like the most important thing when it comes to running. Just constantly listen to your body, just monitor how you're feeling each day, because yeah, I think that's the best way to avoid injuries, just by listening to your body, and you know, just not forcing workouts and stuff if you're tired and shit. Like, I think that's good. Like, if you're overly tired, I'll never recommend to, you know, continue pushing on, just doing workouts and stuff. But yeah, just listen to your body, monitor how you feel. And I know it can be hard sometimes, especially when you're caught up in the training. You're just thinking about getting in good quality workouts and trying to improve and stuff, but recovery is just as important. That's what I'm slowly learning over time too. Recovery is just as important as, you know, your hard training days. And yeah, my 10K race is 3 weeks out, and I do feel like this down week will help me out for sure, because I definitely feel like if I continued on and this was another hard week, I don't know, I feel like at this point I'd probably be risking an injury. So yeah, just like I said, just listen to your body, pay attention to the signs that I mentioned in the video. And yeah, if you've experienced other symptoms of potential burnout and all that I didn't mention, comment down below, because I know there's some that I probably missed. But yeah, if you found this video to be helpful, then consider leaving a like and subscribing for more content like this, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. So I just wanted to throw this in at the end of the video. This is like a cool analogy that I found. So this isn't something I came up with, it's just something that I found. But yeah, it goes like, think of the body being like a sponge, and every session and every week adds a bit of water to the sponge, and that's your training load. Eventually the sponge is full of water and won't take on anymore and won't be effective, so you need to squeeze some water out, which that's a reference to the deload week, so the sponge can take on more water. Yeah, I really like that analogy, and I feel like that's the perfect way to sum up the importance of a deload week. So yeah, I thought it was pretty cool, and I thought it was important to add. So